Had to mess around with some settings. I'm having some issues streaming. I messed with one setting and it just completely destroyed it. Still a little. If you change your setting to 720, it shouldn't be that foggy. Wait for a couple more and then we'll go ahead and get started. Well, let's just go ahead and get started. This week is the big week. Big week. We have today, really nothing. Federal National Activity Index. Tomorrow we have house pricing, new sales month over month. But Wednesday, FOMC, mortgage applications, wholesale inventories, durable goods. Wednesday is going to be crazy data. Thursday too, CPI, Germany, CPI year over year. We have our GDP annualized quarter two. If we are declined from previous quarter, we are officially in a recession, even though they're trying to change that definition. The White House is currently trying to change the definition of what a recession actually means. Jobless claims, and then even Friday, crazy data. So I don't know if I can't zoom out. I can zoom in on this, but it's earnings week. Crazy. Nothing really today. Tomorrow, UPS, Coca-Cola, GM, GE, McDonald's, RTX. You got Google, Microsoft, Visa, Chipotle, Texas Instruments, and you got Shop, Boeing, Spotify, Waste Management. Waste Management is a fun one to play. Pretty simple. Meta, Ford, Qualcomm, Tilray, Pfizer, Southwest, MasterCard, Amazon, Apple. Thursday's the big one. Amazon, Apple, Roku, Intel, X. Friday, you got oil, PG, oil, Procter & Gamble, ABBV, AZN. So we're going to have definitely Hi. I didn't know that was your real first name. But yeah, definitely some crazy earnings. If you guys want to swing overnight, good luck. Definitely going to be, yeah, I didn't know your first name was Patricia. I thought it was Trisha. Got confused. But definitely anything swung overnight, basically just take as a lotto. But let's go ahead and get in our charting. Let me switch this over. Try that. So our key watches. Let's go ahead and start building this. FOMC big tech earnings today. ES on Friday, our high was this little consolidation area that we had already marked up. And I said if we break over this, we get to here, because if you take our volume profile even from anywhere to anywhere, we had a little node here, and then above that we had a small area that we could squeeze, and then we were back up to this bulky area right here. So right now we could either do kind of two different things. What we're looking for is, are we able to break over 4,000 and continue higher? possibly continue higher, hit this area, you know, kind of a run up to FOMC. Usually we have a decent Powell push, Powell pump going into. Yeah, I'll do an NQ next. But usually we have a decent kind of Powell push, but you know, earnings is going to change everything. Right now, our level we're looking to hold is kind of this green box right here, which is our former resistance, which is now turn support. So for bulls, they definitely want to hold this area. We've been able to bounce a couple times from here. Definitely want to keep 39.22. We're gonna do that, 39.22. 39.22 key hold. And then we're also going to look at these where we sold off Friday, where, you know, we just had a decent, we've been just melting up slowly. Eventually, we finally had a good, decent sell. Pretty good volume. Wasn't horrible. But, you know, my projected path that I taught a class last night, I said I think we're going to pop up here and we could possibly sell off down. That'd be my little projected path. But, you know, here's our range right now. Just depends on what's going to break. NQ, just a tad bit weaker. You can tell it has a little bit to go, 12.5. You can tell it rejected 12.5 pretty well. But, you know, here's a rejection, 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 rejection. 12.5 has been a decent. You know, 12.5 has been a resistance. You know, previously, look at this beautiful support. 12.5 was a good spot to get into short. That's what I did. I got into this when we broke below 12.5. We got into a short with a stop loss of 12.5, and we could have rode that down pretty well, almost 130 points. Don't like that. We kind of bounced from this area. You can tell we popped up, came down, marking a little consolidation here, and then we also have one like just below. But, you know, 12.5. Key level, and then we're watching kind of Friday sell-off. We're do 12, 5, 6, 7. Supply. And that one. So just watch that. Something interesting that happened was VIX did gap up while the market did gap up too. Well, the market's going to gap up. VIX, when it opened, gapped up 5%. ES, you know, ES was green when that happened. So that's kind of a definitely interesting spot. The main thing is to watch on VIX is, I was trying to figure out where cycles were, is to wait for the trend. We're in a downtrend. Once that breaks, you can tell our push up strong. You know, here's our downtrend. We pushed up strong. We had a downtrend here. We pushed up strong. We had a downtrend here. We pushed up strong. You know, this is kind of a repeated downtrend, pushed up strong. Just a repeated, you know, pattern that we've been doing. Just definitely keep that, especially if we hit towards this bottom trend line, that we're in this big triangle. Down, you know, if we break under 22, I'm definitely possibly looking to swing SPY puts long term, you know, kind of might grab some VIX calls too. keep that on watch. We're just waiting for this trend break. Very interesting is Ethereum kind of took a poop. So did Bitcoin. I think Asia kind of rug pulled with their stuff. Apple, not really trying to watch Apple. I do have a put that I swung. We had a decent average on, but there's our base big drop. We're able to reject right there. Be able to look at that tap sell off. Friday Apple was a pretty simple. A lot of tickers did this. A lot of consolidation early on, pretty boring. Then we finally had our sell off. AMD. Main thing on AMD is, are we going to fill that gap? Definitely not strong. Actually, red pre-market. So chips are red pre-market. Usually, I always like to say if semis are strong. Well, let's go back to Apple. So if semis are strong, the market's strong. Semi strong, market strong. But let me turn this volume off. AMD, we have a decent downtrend from November that we're kind of getting a little close to. Decent week, could not close above the end of June highs. But we do have this gap fill, and then also we have this weekly supply at 102. It's kind of a cycle level 100. If we do get a pullback, I don't like intraday. I don't like pre-market. Possibly 8296, but I'm definitely not looking at AMD. Amazon, we had 125 supply. We had a decent sell-off from that 125 supply, about 3.5% from our right here sell-off sideways here, and then we had a huge strong sell-off. Definitely watching Amazon possibly come back to test 118. Definitely needs to hold kind of this 118 area, which was our previous breakout point. But right now we seem to be just in a lower range between 121, so under 121, you might see a 118 retest. To the upside, we just had that 129 key pivot. Amazon's kind of in no man's land. Having a decent pre-market. But also a lot of things you got to watch. We kind of just seem to have this support here. So if we are not able to take out these highs, I think we just fall through that support. So that's going to be our main watch on a lot of tickers. We need to create a new high here. I don't think we'll go like this and then bounce back up. I don't think it'll look like that, because it's kind of like a head and shoulders. Here's your shoulder, your head, your shoulder. So we're looking for, on a lot of tickers, to create a lower high and then break through kind of our lows, even ES. If we're not able to create a higher high here, because we have higher high, higher high, higher high, if we can't do it, we should be able to fall through. Google, Google could be a nice swing if you want to be bullish in the market. Beautiful kind of bear flag that I actually bounced pretty well from. So we definitely could get some upside into kind of our daily doji 114 area. Might do that and kind of keep possibly these lows or these lows as a stop. That might actually be a good play. Go ahead. So it sold off with Snapchat. So that's the main thing. So Google, Google has earnings tomorrow. So that could be iffy, the swing. And then Meta. So it's going to be affected by its own, and it's also going to be affected by Meta, because when Snapchat sold off, Meta sold off, Google sold off, So you have those sympathies. It's going to be hard. Price action is going to be hard with earnings because, like everything, news trumps TA. No matter how hard you do this, if we have earnings, we could shoot up, and then people are like, oh, we bounced from the trend line, and that's why we beat earnings. No, we just beat earnings. Guidance. So Google, big flag, possible upside to 114. Meta, big rejection 185. 185 has been a previous resistance, support resistance. We came back up, rejected 185. I thought we would bounce here. This is kind of where I got my calls. On Friday, a decent little scalp as we, even though we sold off, you could tell we had a nice bounce. Kept bouncing, and then eventually there's your break below, and then your drop. So definitely want to see if it's going to actually pop back up to this area here. We are in four-hour demand, but I don't like it because we didn't really see the best reaction from it when we actually got down in there. So we want to see if we're able to break, what are we, like 173? Yeah, we'll go 173 for Meta. If we're able to pop down, we're definitely watching 161.22 demand. Our demands have been pretty spot on. I was charting this up last night. Is that every demand we do create down here, we are able to pop from. Pop there. We create a new demand here. We're able to pop up there. So we are able to hold that demand. But overall, we do have actually a gap below. I think if you are going to swing, or if you are, not playing earnings but swinging, definitely grab a couple more weeks out so you do manage your downside. even though it costs a little bit more, you are risking, you have your downside risks a little bit better. Microsoft, in this triangle a little bit, we already bounced from here, so I'm taking that off. Kind of broke out a little bit, but rejected. Not the best. Kind of technically did reject it. Watching, same thing. Are we going to sell off where we sold off on Friday? It's going to be a big thing. You can tell here's our previous demand up here. Right here, we had one sell off here, and then we were able to get into it more and sold off again. Microsoft is a little green. Microsoft 259. So we're doing 263.90 supply triangle. NVIDIA, we kind of are in this flag. We had a decent week on NVIDIA. It's like this 172, 72 key level. If we drop below 172, we possibly will see 163, 160 key level, which is our previous rejection or previous breakout here. We broke out from this little squeeze, had a nice push up, filled the gap, and then just sold off. So we're looking for a 172 hold, and then 163 demand. And then a more upside, we got to get 182, but then, above 182. You can tell we had a decent rejection on 182. I bet you we rejected it overnight. Not really. Possibly 168. Tell that 172 was where we bounced. Resistance here, broke above. Friday, we bounced from it, had a nice bounce up, and then we're testing it right now. The downside, Tesla came out with a bunch of news with how much they lost on Bitcoin. I added this 829 area. Kind of seemed like a decent support resistance. Just a nice push from the earnings. Of course, IV is finally getting a little lower since earnings passed. So we could look for start getting back into Tesla, but we do have this 860. I believe it's a weekly. Yeah, weekly demand that we gapped down on and broke structure. So it's definitely want to keep on watch. But also that demand is pretty big. So who knows? Not unless Tesla, gives us a great opportunity. I'm not really looking for it. We're about to have data come out soon. We do have FOMC coming up. I'll probably be live streaming for FOMC. Snapchat's still selling off. I actually looked at like a $6 put swinger on Snapchat. But let's go SPY. SPY, we just go to our, same with ES. We did reject that consolidation area. So we, if we break above this, we really don't have much volume. will fill in this selling candle. Definitely will fill in that selling candle if we are able to break above 401. But also we want to watch kind of like 392 resistance. What's up, Brad? Kind of resistance here broke above, and we are holding as support. So, form of resistance, you want to hold support. It's always a key thing. You look at ES, it's happened multiple times. Had a little breakout here, 3854. So I'm looking at support, pushed up, kind of held support, broke down. So that's, breakdown from support. It's always a good spot to go short. But we are looking for kind of that hold. Resistance, almost made resistance. And then, are we going to hold it as support? Kind of making a little uptrend too. If you guys aren't subscribed, I appreciate you guys subscribe. I've looked at the stats. About 85% of people watching this video are not subscribed. Or 85% of people who actually watch my videos do not subscribe to my channel. Need to get that up. Very interesting that overnight we do have data coming out. Nothing very serious. Chicago index minus 0.19, estimated minus 0.03, previous 0.01. So that's pretty bad, I guess. Don't know. Apparently Meta's getting sued by Meta, so I don't know if they're going to have to change their name back to Facebook. It's another interesting thing. But Friday short was pretty clean. We had this just kind of like our overnight. We had our overnight lows. You can tell we bounced, started flagging, broke down. We had a little bounce here. You can tell we did not create a new high there. So that's when you usually want to look short. So that's the main thing with today is, are we going to create a new high? Pretty interesting. That's where we kind of rejected. We're able to create a new high here. Then we can see more upside. So I'm not really looking for upside until we are able to break above. And I don't think we have that much upside after that, but I'm just going to play intraday price action. Because I want to kind of be bearish because big tech is not giving guidance. You got FOMC. If we push on FOMC, more likely the next day we're going to drop because usually the FOMC day, the next day is the opposite. But also, I think downside's more rewarding because we could break down here. And I think if we do break this previous resistance, now support, if we are able to break it, we can definitely see down 3,900 and then get to 38.55 again. But also, we do usually run up to Powell. So, I'm kind of it's just interesting. Just going to be a very, very, very interesting week. Asia sessions, I think we're both red. Yep, both red. Oil is making a little push up. VXX. What is VXX? VIX short-term futures. VXX is an exchange designed to provide investors with exposure to equity market volatility. It tracks VIX short-term futures. Huh. Why is it way down? We got FOMC coming up. I do kind of a FOMC special for new people. We hit, I think the last three been pretty solid. It's the least riskiest way to do it. I don't, people, they'll show you 1,000%, whatnot, but this is what I do. This is what the last one went, 1.4 to 1.7. Our puts went 1.3 to 2.7, so we profited 1.7 from that one, and also the previous one I probably could find pretty quickly. And then our previous one, we also had this one. On 316, our calls went 209 profit, our puts went 1.62 profit. So we made 3.71 overall profit with spending 2. So we made 3. So for being the safest way to do it, I think that's the best. People try to predict where it's going, whatnot, but I play it safe. I play both ways. And then I have my sellout points. But we'll definitely go that overall in depth on Wednesday. just like everything, we're in range. Most stocks are just chilling in a range. There's Apple, AMD, Amazon. Like I said, watch if we're able to pop up, drop. I'm short right now, so that's pretty cool. So I do have trade ticks. I actually decided to opt into it because their bot's kind of pissing me off a little bit. So we can go ahead and check some things out. I try to actually find. So Patricia, QQQ, NetFlow, 5-day. Obviously there's a lot of hedging going on, but very interesting. Both were down. So there's more net premiums. There's more selling overall. You could tell from the 15th and 18th is where we started rounding up. Is that where our low was? Yeah, see, overall puts and calls were ramping up. That's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna keep that call versus put volume, open interest. Here's your open interest mRNA. I don't, on QQ, of course, there's a lot of hedging on that one. Open interest by strike. Here's our top one right here, 280 put side. Call side is 300. Why they only have certain like half year? What's this look like for you guys? Oh, it actually pops up pretty cool. There's your gamma exposure. Let's go to, we're swinging Apple, so let's check out Apple. We have so here's our people are starting to exit positions. Exit positions. Apple had a great run up. Wish I could show longer. Well, 714. So it had a great run up. Apple. So people are just starting to exit their positions. 5-day Apple, you could tell that that's what's showing right here. We came from 148 to basically 156. People just want to exit their positions. Not really anything crazy. Looking on Apple. 30-day. There's your 30-day Apple. Not really. That's not 30 days. 714. It's not 30 days. AMD. AMD, very interesting right here at 721, 1053. Big switch. So that's when you start doing your TA and figuring out where the best entrance and exit is. So they're AMD possibly looking for more downside. Probably just people less risking it going into this crazy week. Was it 721? Just right here, seems like a decent high. Tell that flip. If you got into puts when that huge put buying, huge call selling, you would have made really good money. So that's why I kind of like trading ticks. I like this over flow. Flow is a lot harder to. I wish I could move it over. Flow is a lot more hard to decipher and and all that. We'll just go through our main ones. AMD, Apple, Amazon. Let's see what Amazon did. Amazon had a crazy run up. Crazy run up, but Friday, a lot of puts came in Friday. So I was saying 5-day, there's your cross. 722. It's kind of Friday, midday. Look at all that call selling, and then you want to see some put buying. So we are crossed. Definitely could see a little bit more downside on Amazon. Like I said, if we break that 118 or break that 120 something, whatever it was. At 121. I'm definitely looking at it if we are able to break that 121. Plus Amazon, gave us a good possible entrance. A lot of Discords have this for free. If your Discord doesn't have this, try to reach out to the owner. To have this, trading ticks, right up here in top left, if you can see it. me move it for a second. Hold on. Display camera. Trading ticks right here. A lot of Discords have the bot. I'm going to reset that, but a lot of Discords have the bot. If your Discord doesn't have it, try to reach out. It's $200 for the whole Discord to have it, or $50 per person. Adds a lot of value to the Discord. It gives you just do little commands. But right now that's not working, so that's why I'm kind of mad at it. But I'll show you the commands we do. Pop it up for a second. You could just go in any time of the day. You just do TR, net flow market, and there's your, what's this showing you? Puts increasing, calls decreasing. We're gonna have a little sell off. And what do we do? This was, if you saw that was a pretty good time. This was, I think, 240 or 1240 here. This is just showing you pretty good thing. Meta, here's me Meta. Did 1 day, and then you could do like 15 days expiration. You tell people are loading up puts short term. So let's go to Google. I like to look at the 5-day and kind of see where crosses are. Google had a split, so this is a little harder. You could tell puts are way down. I'm not really. That one's pretty hard to look at. Meta. Yeah, I don't have it. I just have their individual service. My personal Discord's not really for money. It's kind of free, so it's kind of just my notes and all that. Meta. Look at that. Where's your cross? Right here. Where was a good time to get in? Right here at 11 o'clock. You could have had a nice drop. Just a lot of call selling right there. Probably some just exiting positions. Puts slowly increasing. Look at our 5-day. There's our cross on our 5-day with puts and calls. And look, we moved up from 176 all the way to 184. Huge. That's a huge good swing right there. But I'm gonna definitely start using this more. Here's our cross right now, so possibly more downside here. You tell here's that push up, and then our just a lot of people taking cash positions into this week. It's basically everything's going to show that. It's just people are just slowly taking their cash positions. Net flow. What is this? Microsoft? Wow, Microsoft popped up end of day. What's Microsoft doing? It was actually up. So where's the good spot to get into Microsoft? Look at this, put selling. People either exiting positions, like you see that top, that could have been their stop. Right here over this pivot. So you see that big drop in puts. I mean, this is millions, went, dropped to 4 million. 4 million worth of puts were sold right here. Then look at that beautiful push up from 258 all the way to 264. So Meta, right? This is Meta. No, this is Microsoft. Microsoft calls are still being bought. Not the best uptrend. So definitely keep this on watch. If calls start going down and puts start going up, I could definitely look for more downside on Microsoft. What's after Microsoft? NVIDIA. NVIDIA, this is just showing you, look at this. Calls being sold all day, put slowly creeping up, and look at that. NVIDIA short on Friday would have been great. 5-day, I like to see where your crosses are. We possibly had a little cross here. You could tell once they touched here, huge drop, crossed here, went from 169 all the way up to 180. So, there's your cross. Grab a swinger. Look at that, beautiful up. For people who don't know, this is just showing your net inflow of calls. So the green lines are calls. So if the net inflow is going up, there's more calls being purchased than sold. There's more premium going into calls. If red's going down, I use Webull. I find the phone app is the best interface for trading. So that's why I like Webull. A lot of people use TOS, but my favorite's Webull. I love Webull. But here we are crossing recently, so we could possibly see some downside for NVIDIA with that cross, which is why interesting that NVIDIA is down. Let's see what Tesla looks like with earnings. Tesla 1 day, here's your cross. Friday. Oh, Friday was a sell-off, so let's go with 5-day. Let's see what Thursday looked like after earnings. There's your red open. Look at all those calls that were bought at open here. There's your cross at 789, and we went all the way up to 837. So overall, that was a crazy good cross. Money's actually going into Tesla. Let's just go over ES and NQ, and then we're gonna call it. So looks like we are rejecting Friday's overnight lows, which was our break. Overnight lows were down here. I don't know why I have that line. 30. There we go. Okay. There's our overnight lows. You can tell I was at Costco at the time, but I posted it. It's like we broke down. I was like, this is going to be a beautiful retest. If we're able to retest it and reject it, we'll see more downside. And we had pretty high quality downside after that, almost 1%. So main watch today is Friday's highs and our kind of previous resistance that's possibly now support. Same with NQ, Friday's highs, and then its previous resistance on support is 12.3. But y'all have a good trading day. Be smart this week, guys. If you're gonna swing, be smart about it. If you're gonna swing, expect to lose everything. But also you could expect to win a lot. So, basically flip a coin. But y'all have a great rest of your day. Let's kill it. Futures, if anyone's interested in futures trading, I put out a great video the other day. Definitely give that a watch. Just on how you could get a funded account for like about $100, and they'll fund you $50,000, and then you just gotta kind of pass an evaluation, basically a trial, and then you get funded. And I'm funded right now, not doing so good today, but FOMC I'm expecting to make 10 grand. That's my goal. But y'all have a great rest of your day.